Welcome to Crown Chat with Nichelle, where we celebrate remarkable women who are making waves in the world while juggling the demands of everyday life, inspiring others, and leaving a lasting impact. I'm your host, Nichelle Miller, reigning Pure International Elite Ms. Ambassador. Join me as we explore the stories of extraordinary women shaping our world right here on Crown Chat with Nichelle. Hi, and welcome back to Crown Chat with Nichelle. I'm Nichelle Miller, your host, and I'm so excited to share another one of my amazing, special royal friends with you. As you know, here it's all about positive pageantry and sharing my amazing friends, their pageant systems and journeys with you. And today is no different as I bring in this beauty right here. You guys wait till you see her. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Tell them who you are.
I'm Kristie Penick. I am currently the Mrs. All-Star United States 2025 for the Mrs. Division, and I won this past July. So I've had almost 6 months of running around, having a great time, enjoying every little aspect of this title and all the wonderful things that come along with it.
I love it. Your pictures are stunning.
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness.
We have great hair and makeup and photographers.
Doesn't it make a difference?
Yes, it kind of does.
Gorgeous.
Yes, we do.
So we met a couple of years ago, and then I'm loving seeing you on this journey. So tell us a little bit about this system, the areas that you compete in, how we get involved, all that good stuff.
Okay. I'll tell you a little background about myself, and then I'll go into how I ended up in this system.
Yeah.
So I did pageants from, I did a couple when I was 4 and 5, really loved it, but it just wasn't that big of a thing in my area. And then about 7 years old, I started competing, and it was nonstop from 7 to about 21. And then, of course, got married, had the kids, raised them. And then 3 years ago, this month, February, actually, I decided hey, I think I want to go back and compete, which I knew eventually that chapter of my life was not over.
Mhm.
And I just didn't know at what point in my life, I'd get to go back. So I just said, okay, I'm not telling anybody. I'm going to do this one. If I win, then I'm going to keep going. That was God's way of opening the doors for me. And if I don't, that was my answer to shutting it. And I went to I believe it was in Hammond, Louisiana, and competed in a prelim. And the only system I knew about at the time was Mrs. America. That's, kind of the only system that had been around for forever and ever. And I did not know there were oodles and oodles of pageants for women in their 40s and 50s. Just didn't know it. And anyway, so I won that prelim, and I have not stopped since. So I did the Mrs. Louisiana America. I won that prelim, went on to Mrs. Louisiana America that May. They didn't really announce it, but the way the scores came, I was like second or third runner up. And I met several people at that pageant that told me about the All-Star United States pageant. It was held in Savannah, Georgia from the beginning that Mrs. Tammy Johns started this system, which was about 15 years ago. And this past July was the first time ever that she moved it to Nashville, Tennessee. So I competed in Savannah 2 years ago as Mrs. Louisiana, and I came in first runner-up. And nobody even knew who I was, where I came from, nothing. And I told them then, because I loved it so much, I will be back. I don't know when, but I will return. And I knew that if I was going to return back to this system, I wanted to be 100%. And not that I hadn't been 100% up until that point, but, being out of the game for so long, you're really not sure, what it all looks like anymore. So I kind of had to, feel my way through, and I did the Pure International, got first runner up there, which was incredible. That journey was amazing as well. Met lots and lots of people. But my heart really, I knew that I wanted to win and represent Tammy Johns and the All-Star United States organization. She is an amazing director. Whatever she says is exactly what happens. Whatever she says we're going to do, we do it. Whatever prizes are promised, you get, which, I understand some organizations aren't able to always do that because they don't have, the monies or the contestants they thought they were going to have or whatever. So in this system, you compete in interview, of course, which is a panel of 3 judges for 3 minutes. So you got to be impressive and sell yourself quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, legit 3 minutes. You think how fast that goes, So you have that. And then that is strictly, it's about telling about yourself, your journey, how you got there, a little bit about your platform or your impact or your social impact statement, whatever you want to call it. Always just say it's what you're about. And then you have swimsuit or fitness. And in this system, you can wear a fitness outfit, a bikini, or a one piece as long as it's all modest.
Okay.
So the first time that I competed, I wore fitness and got first runner up. And then the year before I won, the girl that won wore fitness, and she was the only one that wore fitness and won the national title. So that part is really left up to the contestant and how they feel in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I went back, I've always loved, this is crazy, but I love bikinis. I've always liked bikinis more than one piece. Back in my Miss Louisiana America days, it was the one piece that you had to purchase, from that system.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew if I went back, I was going to have the body I wanted to feel good about myself. And you got to think, I'm in my 40s. I don't look like a 20-year-old, but the best that I could be to my best ability. And I wanted a 2-piece, and that's what I wore. And then you have evening gown and an on-stage question. And let me tell you, for the on-stage question, they were all about current events, which I watch, I watch the news every day so that I know what's going on, not just for pageant world, but you don't want to be out and about and people ask questions and you have no idea what they're talking about.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be that typical pageant,
Yeah.
girl that has no brain. Yeah. Because we are way more than just a crown, for sure. I was going to tell you something else, but see, that's what happens. You got to forget. But anyway, I'm really excited that I went back and I won this title. I truly believe that the ones that I had done before this, which wasn't many, but everyone just about I either got first runner up or was close. And before this one, I asked God, I said, you know my heart. I want for you to shine through me. Let people see you in me and spread my message about sLae, which I'll tell you about in a second. And I don't know why I've only gotten close, but I've never won.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe with everything I have, he was preparing me for this very title so that I knew what it was like to be first runner up. I knew what it was like to almost just taste it. You're so close, but you just barely miss it. I know what it's like to be 3 or 4 runners up down the line. I know what all that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So very humbling to win, because I do know what it's like not to win. Yeah. So I believe with all my heart that he was preparing me for this very moment. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that you said that you wanted to be on stage at your personal best, not comparing to anybody else. And I think so many times people push pageants out of their minds or think they can't do it because they don't look like the cookie cutter.
Right.
Model. But it's not about that. It's about your personal best. So
right.
I think that you brought that out.
And your self-confidence comes from if you are feeling like you're beautiful, that you're fit, and like I said, the first runner up to me was a 26-year-old. I have a 20 almost 8-year-old daughter. So, I mean, of course, when I looked at her, I was like, gosh, she is like, oh, she is gorgeous. But then I looked at myself and I said, you know what? I'm not 26. I'm at the time I was 48 years old, and I'm the best I can be at this moment. And for whatever reason, God didn't have the plans for me to compete when I was 26.
Yeah.
It was for me to wait until now. And I think I also stand for all the women out there that think, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm not going to walk out there in a bikini and compete against them. But it was all about my inner self and how I felt. And I think I exuded that on the stage, because I was the best I could be, or, so I thought. So,
That's wonderful. Yeah. I love it. And you mentioned it. I think sLae is your platform.
It is. It stands for support, love, accept, encourage. At any point in our lives, we need to be doing at least one of those four things. The L is capitalized because, as the great Bible says, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. So above all else, we need to love on everybody. We need to encourage everybody, support everybody, be accepting of all the differences. That's one thing I have learned, especially in Pure, just because Pure had people come in from all walks of life. And, pretty much, I guess you could say every pageant system has people from all walks of life. I've met so many people from the little Saturday pageants, the pageants that, raise money for different organizations, or a community hero, so to speak, to raise money for that family. And everybody wants to be beautiful in their own way. Or I teach school, I've got to be accepting and supporting and loving and encouraging. And even if you just see somebody in the grocery store and they look like they might not be having a good day, you can sLae the day, So sLae also means a lot to me because it is the first letter of all four of the three of my biological children. Then I have a bonus daughter. So their names are Shelby, Lexi, Annabelle, and Ellie. And then I always say sLae the day and be the difference. And I have a new grandbaby that just turned a year old in November. So the D in difference is for Darla Beth. So it all worked out.
I love that. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute.
Thank you.
First off, I can't believe you're a grandma.
Right. I feel like I'm supposed to be my kid's age. I still feel like in my mind, that I'm still 26, 27 years old. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, no, you're not, girl.
You look it though. You look really good. Amazing.
Thank you.
What do your students think of their teacher being this amazing pageant queen?
Some of them just like, oh, that's so good, and then there's some that are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, that you're a beauty queen. But then there's some that just like, yeah, she's just Miss Kristie. She'll be all right.
I love that. That's amazing. So what do your kids think? I mean, because it is, like you said, you've mentioned, you competed against a girl that was close to your daughter's age. What do they think of mom?
Well, believe it or not, none of the girls ever wanted to do pageants. My oldest one did when she was little, a couple local pageants, but they never wanted to have that mindset where if we're going to do it, we're going to be, consistent. We're going to have a plan and you're going to be strict. And when it comes to stuff that I'm passionate about, pageants is one of them. I am very strict. Mm-hmm. So they weren't ever interested. But before I started competing again, I did ask all three of them, what are your thoughts if I go back? And they have all been very supportive, thought it was incredible. And then when I brought this title back to Louisiana, they were just like, y'all, my mom just won. So they're very supportive. And I couldn't ask for any better cheerleading section.
That's beautiful. That's
amazing. I know. They're great girls.
Love it. Well, they have a great mama.
Thanks.
What has been your best piece of advice as you've gone through this pageant journey to kind of keep you going?
Um, you know, to love yourself and be mindful about the way you present yourself, be honest, be authentic. The person that you see at any pageant, whether I'm judging, emceeing, or I'm in it, I want people to think that I'm the exact same person that I am sitting right here with you right now. Um, you never know the people you're going to encounter, and you never know what an impact on their day that you and I can make. And sometimes that could be good, and sometimes it could be bad. I also think that God puts us in different situations to see how we're going to react. Um, you know, when you come this close, you can almost taste it. The reaction that you make is lasting. People are watching.
Yes.
They may not remember who won. They may not remember what place you were, but if you acted a ugly tail, people gonna remember that.
Yeah.
So I always say, try to be uplifting, encouraging, because you want the people to be encouraging and uplifting on your day. And if that day never comes, it just wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
But I always try to tell people to be really, really mindful of their mannerisms and what they say and how they say it, because that does have an impact on people, whether we believe it or not.
Yeah, that's great advice.
You want people to say, I cannot believe how sweet she was, or I can't believe how, she didn't even place, but you'd have thought she did, because she was so happy for myself. So that's my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, because I have seen, well, I mean, we've both seen people that don't win, and you're like, what happened? I mean, they just total
Yes.
change, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yes. And don't let it change you either. Winning a title shouldn't change who you are to the point that nobody wants to be around you, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So you're halfway through your reign. What's on your bucket list for the next 6 months? I know you're going to conquer the world, but what's your big your big goal for the next 6?
Honestly, I do not want this next 6 months to end. I mean, my bucket list would be that I could hold this title forever. I've enjoyed every single aspect of this title that I've gotten. Got to walk in New York Fashion Week again this past September. I'm going to walk again in February. Two of the things that are on my list, one is to personally meet Giovanni. Um, we will actually go in to meet the designer, their warehouse, hopefully, in February. Another thing that I've asked my pageant director, please let me have an interaction with Jonathan Kane. He is incredible. I always say he is designed for Kristie Penick in mind, because every dress of his that I've worn has been, like the gown, I feel like, for me. And I know he didn't design for me in mind, but I feel like he did, because, it just fits my body type perfect. And we know that, especially older ladies, we don't have the same body types as the younger girls. And it feels good in his dresses. They're comfortable. And you don't want to be stuffed like a sausage in dresses for all that time. I often say you got to have a dress that's not, just a stand-up dress. Sometimes you got to be able to sit in them. So those are two things that I definitely want before I, end my reign. I just want to be able to recruit as many people to this pageant organization. I don't feel like enough people know about it. One of the things that I will say about All Star United States is the price to enter is incredibly forgiving, because compared to some of the other ones that I've entered, it's very affordable. And not only is it affordable, but all the things that we get to do, during pageant week, and it's a short pageant week. You arrive on Wednesday, you're crowned on Saturday. So
Oh,
yes, it is very short. I got to stand in the wooden circle of the Grand Ole Opry. Um, I wish I had that picture so I could share it with you. That was the best picture ever. I'm not a singer, I'm a dancer, but we had like literally 5, 6 seconds to come up with a pose. They said, "Who's going first?" Of course, I went. And the pose that I had was like that. So you would have thought I was like singing on the Grand Ole Opry. It was perfect. That was highlight. Yes, definitely. Dinner cruise. And the show was phenomenal. Like, cannot express that enough. Um, it's a very small group of queens. So we have Teen, Miss, Measures, and Prestige.
okay.
Prestige was just added last year. So 2024 was actually the very first year that she added 50 and older.
Hmm.
So, and it can be married, divorced, or single. Doesn't have to be married. Um, so there's four of us. So we're very small, very close knit. Once you're a queen, you're forever. I cannot tell you how many forever queens that I have actually met throughout my reign, which is also another bonus. You never know where you're going to end up years from now, and you might need that person, to connect
Mhm.
with. So sisterhood to me is everything. Um, and especially with this one since it is so small. But I still talk to some of the queens from even 2 years ago that won, and even the contestants, because you're meeting girls from all over the United States.
Yeah.
I wish I had enough time that I could actually visit every state and make an impact. But I'm full time mom, full time teacher, um, full time grandmother. So it's hard to fit everything in. And I wish I could have taken a year off and just lived my life to the fullest for this year. But I did tell my husband that, hey, get ready because I'm going to live out every dream I possibly can imagine, in this 365 days. And I have to say, he's hanging in there.
It takes a special man to marry us. So I love that.
Yes,
I
it
love
does. Now
that.
he went to one, the very first pageant that I did. He went after that. He said, "No, I love you. Good luck. I hope you win them all, but my nerves, I can't do it."
It's a lot.
He's
It's
like pageant mom in the husband version, Uh,
I love it. I love it. So to get involved or to learn more about your system, how can we follow? What are the links we
Yes.
need to go to?
Either visit our website, allstarunitedstates.com. Has all kinds of information on that website, how to enter. You can actually also go on Facebook. You can look up Kristie Penick, start following me. And message me. I'll tell you all about it. You can also like our page, which is All Star United States on Facebook, as well as TikTok and Instagram. Um, or message anybody on the internet, and we'll get back to you. We also have a channel on YouTube. I said that I was going to do a once a month video, and I have not gotten around to it. So on my actual 6-month anniversary will be the very first video that I will add, hopefully to the YouTube channel. But we do have a YouTube channel that kind of tells you all about the pageant, what you need to know, the ins and outs. But it is about Savannah, and then my version will be about Nashville. So
Okay.
look
Okay.
forward to that. Yay.
Perfect. When is pageant? When are nationals again?
It is July 23rd through the 26th in Nashville, Tennessee. The host hotel is the Opry Inn, which is right across from the Grand Ole Opry and the Opry Resort. The hotel that we're staying in is actually a little bit more affordable. It's a little more laid back, but if you want the whole resort mall, and it's like got some little beautiful gardens and restaurants, all of that is across the street. So it's not like it's a far walk.
Sure.
We had some events and things at the hotel itself, and then we had some at a different location. So
Okay.
um, I can't wait for that too. So
Wonderful.
I'm excited for it coming up. I don't want it to hurry because I want to still enjoy it. But, you know, and after that, I don't know what my future holds. I'm just going to, I don't know if I'll compete again. I don't know what I'll do, but, you know, remains to be seen. I don't know if I want to be full-time grandmother. I don't know. I say there's no way after I started I was going to stop, but, you know, I'm just going to wait and see what the future holds for me.
Yeah,
so I'm
you've
excited.
got options, and it's all in God's hands. So
Right.
See, so
I said, as long as I'm on, you know, like this, guys, I need to enjoy it because it might not happen anymore.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, Kristie, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I just reached out to you and you're like, yes,
Thank
jump
you.
right on. So I'm so proud of you. I love your journey.
Yes.
I'll post all the links so everybody can follow you. Any last words before we hop off tonight?
Just if you've ever thought about being in a pageant, go for it. You never know who you're going to meet. You and I got to meet through pageants, and I'm so thankful that we got to meet, because you're also an incredible human to watch and see where your life and journey takes you. We never know from one minute to the next. But if you've ever wanted to be in a pageant, do it. I mean, if you don't do anything but use it as a way to meet other women and find out what's out there, you know, because there's so many different pageants. You've got to figure out what pageant system works for you. And I say go for it.
Great advice. Can't say anything better. Well, Kristie, thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you for having me.
Sparkle because they can't handle your shine. We'll see you next time on Crown Chat.
Thank you and good luck.
Are you a current title holder or pageant provider that wants to share your story? Message us now at crownchatwithnichelle@gmail.com.